got my gear on. This is important stuff.
Oh, geez, I totally messed up. Well, I just
so I can hang for 30 seconds before the game kicks off. But wanted to stop in and support your awesome technological Zoom leap.
I know, right? Because no one's done this before. Well, actually, it's crazy. I've done so many of these, and I realized, why am I not hosting this? Why am I not just doing this myself?
I hear you. It's a good call. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I've had this premium one forever. You could just in case, not forever since all of this. I think I did the premium Zoom thing, not premium, whatever it is, where you have
Yeah, I just got mine so that I could host meetings that were more than 40 minutes long. So I had to pony up and pay for the yearly subscription thing.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't do the yearly. I'm too cheap for that. I try. Wait, no, I had to have, because I don't remember what I did. I did it just to make sure that we were good. But I do the live stream, so I figured, let me do this, because I think I've done 3 Zoom things in the past 2 weeks, and it's always someone else's thing, guided with all this. And I'm like, well, let me just do it myself. And here's somebody. There's here's Harry.
There you go.
Watch, it's gonna be you, Harry, and me. Hey, Dad, you there? Harry's connecting the audio.
He's figuring out this whole Zoom thing. He's not supposed to know how to do this. He's what, 60 now?
72.
Right?
72. You child, you.
I'm an old man.
You're doing good. You're doing good with this stuff.
How are you, Harry?
I'm good. We just listened to a 60-year-old recording of Andy Williams. What a voice. Oh my God. Incredible.
I got to pull out all my Mac Davis albums that I inherited from my father since he passed away this week.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh. Yeah, it just happened a couple days ago.
Oh, wow.
No. Mac Davis I'm talking about, not my dad.
Oh.
My dad passed away. He died in 2008. So.
I heard you wrong also, because I thought that had happened already. I'm like, wait, did I miss that?
No. Mac Davis died this week.
Got a visitor.
Hi.
Hey,
how are you?
How are you all? I haven't seen you all in a while.
Yeah, no. How you doing, Stella?
I'm good. Your wife cooks amazing food.
She's sitting over there. Say hi.
You cook amazing food. I want some recipes. You have a really lovely home and a lovely, thing out there. Yeah, we need to come out sometime.
I would love that. Love to entertain you guys.
Don't you guys have to get the pictures together or something with the album? I know we have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we have to do that. But before everything closes up, I'm trying to get around and visit everyone I need to. So
yeah, no.
Matt, how is Jane? I haven't seen or talked to you guys in a really long time either. I feel badly about that.
Oh, that's all good. Good. She took a bit of a spill the other night.
Oh no.
God, she was ironing my martial arts uniform. So Lee, we have to have you back for more. I know it was not even, but then it was terrible, because I was in the bed with Shyla, and I hear a yelp and a fall. So then I run. I trip over Shyla's stool, so I fall off the bed, and then I keep on running. And then when I get to her, I trip on the floor again and land right next to her. And she's just like, Matt, "You're really helping."
You and Jane need to come up with better stories than ironing the martial arts outfit and tripping over Shyla's stuff. You've got to have some good stories for these injuries. How did you get that bruise, Matt? Oh, I was lifting a car off of a person after they got into an accident, saving their lives.
Well, it's funny. I used to go running when I was pregnant with Gia, and my doctor told me I could run, right? And then my 9th month, because I was in February, like Jane was with Shyla, and my 9th month, there was ice, and I fell, and I scraped everything. And he goes, "I told you could run. I didn't say you could fall." And that was, and it's true. If you're active, you do that. But I don't know. She's okay though, right?
Oh yeah, she's good. She couldn't walk yesterday too much. Yeah, well, more so because of the weight of the baby and the baby being
all right.
spine.
What's her due
Why
date?
are you all Zooming tonight?
Well, I did it last minute. I was trying to set this up at 7:30 to be for 8. But because I always do live streams, and like one of the biggest critiques I get is, Matt, why don't we have a conversation? Then Dad, last night you made that comment about how I should, and I'm like, hey, let's give it a whirl. I mean, doing the live streams are great.
Roy Gregory, and make a live stream with Roy Gregory.
Yeah, I mean, he's but then I got to work on time zone stuff, and he's probably gonna be,
No, Is Shiloh there, Matt?
She is. She's asleep, but we could.
Okay.
I don't want to.
All right. I'm
So,
going to
Harry,
get in touch with Jane tomorrow. Tell her I hope she feels better. I'm going to go see what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Harry, I thought you'd appreciate. I went out and bought an inexpensive USB microscope.
Yes.
So that I connected it up to my computer because I had messed up what I thought. I bent the cantilever on my cadenza bronze, and I kind of bent it back, but I wanted to make sure that the diamond was still pointing straight down like it's supposed to. So I got this microscope and connected it to the computer and zoomed all in, and everything was good. So it's back up and working. But it was really kind of interesting dealing with the tiny little macro stuff and all that with the microscope.
500 times magnification.
Yeah, I only had 250 times, but that was good enough for the start. Yeah.
The littlest. I bought a micrometer base to mount it on, so I could move it in thousandths of an inch.
That's cool.
It just moves, like.
Oh, is that Corey?
Like when you shoot the moon, with an 800 millimeter lens, you move a 16th of an inch. It's like a mile up there.
Exactly. So yeah, that was kind of cool though, seeing the up close and personal on a stylus for the first time. I know you've got the really tricked out high end optical microscopes.
I like them. They're really nice. They really work beautifully. So I like the old stuff. I just bought a 14-year-old Canon macro lens. You know why? It's as sharp as the new ones. It's got a manual focus ring that actually focuses. It doesn't tell the camera to tell the lens to focus. You turn it and it focuses.
And then the Nikon 56 millimeter. There you go. Yeah, the Nikon 56 millimeter macro is the sharpest lens I've ever seen. And it's from about 1965.
I know, these macro lenses are incredible. This thing is ridiculous.
One of these days, we're going to get you off that Canon thing, though.
Oh, no, it's getting better and better. The R5 is going to be.
No.
Well, really quick, guys, want to welcome Corey and Pat. So Corey Layton and Pat, I'm guessing Pat Matucci. Otherwise, you changed your last name to iPhone. So.
Hey, guys.
What up,
Hey,
Pat? Hey, Corey. Turn your video on if you can. We want to see your smiling face.
Yeah, let's see your faces over here.
Yeah, I'll turn mine on in just a second. I'm in a really dark room at the moment.
Ah, there you go.
Lee, what tunes are you spinning tonight? We're spinning Billy Joel, obviously.
I'm going to be spinning the Eagles game in about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Got I'm all eagled up, as you can see.
No face paint?
No face paint, not tonight.
A little disappointed. No. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed, Lee. You should definitely have the face paint.
Honey, I might need a lipstick so I can just do under my eyes.
They had something on Shark Tank where people could put face paint on and peel it off. There was a Shark Tank.
I like that. That sounds good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Because I don't think Laura would let me into the bedroom tonight if I was all face painted up.
Ew. All right.
She's saying no right now.
I think it has nothing to do with the face paint, Lee.
That's a fair point, Matt. Did you hear what he said? He said, "You're not letting me in the bedroom. It has nothing to do with the face paint."
Here's Corey. Hey, Corey.
Hey,
Look at her laughing.
Doing?
Hey, Corey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
I'm doing
So
well.
far, so good.
Good.
Yeah, when I saw your question about if you should attach your HW40 cover or not, I'm like, oh, perfect. There's a topic for the quick little Zoom conversation.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I
yeah.
attached it, and that lasted about 5 minutes, and I took it off.
Yeah, mine's attached right now. I'm about to rebuild my rack. I just got a replacement rack. I got a Symposium foundation with a bunch of extras on it, but I was going to switch from my salamander rack to that, and in the process, I was thinking about taking the acrylic top off of the HW40.
Does sound cleaner with it off. And you know what sounds really, really good? Recording it at 24,192 with the loudspeakers off. Then there's no feedback at all. And you have no idea how good vinyl is until you hear it like that. It's incredible.
You have no idea how good vinyl is until you hear it without speakers?
No, through digital.
You just listen really closely to the stylus.
Yes.
That's why you got to have headphones. Headphone rig.
Right.
When I got started in hi-fi, like it really getting into true, hi-fi, not just stuff like Best Buy stuff. I originally started out with headphones, and my first setup was a Scoutmaster with various headphone amps and HD 650 Sennheisers. And that was how I really started getting into more of the hi-fi scene. But I wanted that speaker experience, being able to feel.
Funny, Corey. It's funny. I had gotten back into headphones because I knew, when I was starting this photography adventure, that the best way to get really good quality sound on the cheap was headphones. So I had a nice system with a little headphone amp and a DAC and a pair of Sennheiser 650s. And I went to a Head-Fi meet for the first time down at Frank Iacone's house in South Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought my stuff down. I set it all up. I'm like, I got the goods. How can it possibly get any better than this? And somebody was there with a really tricked out setup with Audeze LCD 2s.
Ah, okay.
And my chin was literally on the floor.
Yeah.
Going, oh, that's how much better it can be. And the rest is history, which my wife would like to eradicate.
Yeah, if you really want to ruin your world, check out stacks like the SR 009s.
Yeah, I've heard the 09s. I've heard the 07s. I won't go down that path for two reasons. One, the headphones are ridiculously expensive to begin with, but then you've got to buy a really good amp, and it's a rabbit hole that I'm just not ready to go down. And second, they're fast. God, they're super fast, and the mids and highs are like liquid, but the bottom end just isn't there as much as you get with the planar magnetics. So I'm sticking with the planars.
Well, if you put it really comes down to the amp quality. Amp quality is everything with those. A buddy of mine, he has had the Blue Hawaii SE.
Yep.
He right now his favorite is a T2 DIY or DIY T2, which is like considered the pinnacle of the Stax amps.
Okay.
And I've heard his 007s and his 009s on it, both the version 1 and version 2, and it's scary good. It's scary.
Yeah, I've heard the 09s on the Blue Hawaii, and I've heard them on the Z10E from Linear Tube Audio, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, the Zodal stuff.
And I've heard them on the Dan Clark. I've heard the Dan Clarks on both those setups too. The oh God, why can't I remember the name of the Dan Clark ones? Mr. Speakers, whatever.
Yep.
The electrostatic ones on there. All very, very good. All still don't have quite the bottom guts that I've come to expect from the Audezes.
Yeah,
Hi Lola.
I have like a cheap setup that I was rocking for a while. There was a pair of Dan Clark Ethers flows.
Yep.
To one of the Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Those really good Russian tubes, the ones that are like super rare.
And that's a brand, not that it was actually shit.
And that setup was shockingly good. Especially
Yeah, I have
if
the
anything's cheap.
original Mjolnir that doesn't have tubes, and it's still, and I listen to those with the ethers and love them. They're both. It's a great setup.
Yeah, it's a great little lamp, especially for the money.
All right, guys, I got to drop off. My game is kicking off. Great
Oh
seeing
wait,
you.
hold on.
Speakers in
I
the
missed
back.
someone.
What's that?
Towers. See my
Yeah.
speakers in the back.
Yeah, you
What
see
are
the
those?
speakers, the red towers in the back?
Yeah, the red, are those the Arions?
Yeah,
How do you like them?
unbelievably clear. I have quad 63s, and these are faster.
Yeah, I know those
I'm
speakers. I was
rocking
using
my
those.
Pulsars here.
Oh, Jeff
What's
Harris.
up?
Oh my God.
Hey, man.
I
I see you're in your office.
Oh yeah, office.
Hey, Jeff.
Office.
This
Hey,
is what
Harry.
you guys need.
Got to drop, guys. Talk to you later.
Later, Lee.
Oh, what are
Terry's
you
gonna
guys
show us what we
doing?
need.
Okay. Nice.
That's what you need. A giant red monolith in your living room.
Yeah.
Girl dancing.
And a
Yeah,
girl
and the-
dancing.
Especially the girl dancing part. If you just have the speaker, you're just,
This is my life.
Welcome, Jeff. Well, you're joining us during our little, well, I mean, I always do the live streams and everything, but the complaint that, well, actually the problem I have is by the time I see the messages and the questions, I'm already done, or I'm so far past whatever it was. The person would be like, whoa, what was that component? And I'm already in the next room. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
what the heck was that guy talking about? And,
Yeah.
but it's got
I
me
think-
thinking.
I think we're about to start dinner, but I'll let me see if I can switch my camera around here. I'll show you my little stuff. So here's my current little
Whoa,
system.
whoa.
Yeah, got the amazingness,
Good
Oh,
and
Lord.
then
All
the
blue.
Simadio Moon stack. Oop, there it is. And then the Zesto nonsense with the SRA rack. And then oh, there they are, the rock ports.
Oh, there's the rock ports. We were just talking about those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's my little hole of stuff.
And
But they're
welcome,
not red, Jeff. They're not red.
Oh, I know.
and welcome
know.
Joe Parvey and Michael Trey.
Oh, Jesus, look at that.
Hey guys. By the way, tonight's kind of like a spur of the moment experiment of all of this because I've had the Zoom like premium, whatever the hell the thing is, all this time. And for those who are hopping in now, I've been a guest for everyone else's Zoom, and I'm like, why am I not doing this? Eventually I'll set like a specific day, or I don't know, maybe I'll do it every Sunday night or the morning or something, and just like chit chat with Matt or something. And
There you go.
it's and the other thing that sparked it was I don't know if you guys are seeing that Facebook thread on Doug Schneider for what the heck's it called? Soundstage. Doug Schneider asking about like the shows and everything else, and I don't know if I agree with most of what people are saying. There's some that are like, the world's going back to normal right after COVID. I don't care about politics. I don't care about opinions on stuff. I just really think that the shows will never be the same. I think there will be shows, but Zoom and all of this. Oh, hey Joe.
There he is. What do you say, Joe?
Hey guys, watching TV
What's
with
up,
my
Joe?
girl popped up.
Hey Lily.
Hey, yours is named Lily too?
Yep,
Yeah, that's what my daughter's name is as well.
no, that's Jeff.
Great minds.
Yep, indeed.
And by the way, since you guys are on here, to let you know that I'm going to announce my newsletter system's all screwed up. I'm still trying to fix the VPI newsletter system. So tomorrow I'm getting it fixed and say a newsletter. We're doing a dealer training via Zoom. And Corey, don't you worry, we're going to do a customer training at some point also. And going back to like what Doug Schneider was saying, not Doug Schneider. He just asked the question.
Oh,
And so he asked the question of, do we think shows will be different? And someone's like, it's going to go back to normal. I think it is going to be different because all of us are using these tools. Guys, I was in a meeting earlier today, a martial arts meeting with a whole bunch of grandmasters and everything else on Zoom. These guys who don't even know how to like use their smartphone, and they're on Zoom discussing, teaching martial arts classes. And I'm like, Jesus, these guys are getting this stuff. We got to be doing more of this stuff, you know. And
I'm doing it, and I can't believe it.
yeah.
That's Matt's dad.
Oh man. So, and welcome, Rob. We have Robert Frank joining us here as well. But so guys, what I was going to talk about tonight was just the dust covers. So with those coming in late, overall, Harry's opinion is of dust covers attached.
Well, when you listen, you take it off. When you don't listen, you leave it on.
Yeah.
Or just
Ironically,
record what you have and play the recording.
Mr. Trey, how are you?
Michael.
Hello.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I just got a Manhattan.
Jane, I need a drink.
Yeah. I feel like mine smell like you right now.
What?
Someone said Stella.
I was gonna say I think I'm jealous of Harry and he's Manhattan.
No.
Oh man.
Everybody's
Yeah.
jealous of Harry.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna start doing, guys, for those coming in, I'm gonna like figure out a time or whatever, just do this, you know, just where like more someone to know. This was spur of the moment. I was supposed to send the link out to everybody at like 7:00, but then, you know, having a baby, you know, it's, all that stuff got in the way. Those darn rugrats. So that just to get the word out there and try this, just we can have more of a dialogue, because I have been part of so many different Zoom conversations of other groups, and you know, Mike, Jeff, all of you guys have done the same thing, and you know, they're kind of all over the place or whatever. And you know, I'm like, why am I not doing this? You know, and just like having a topic and then just us kicking things around. I'm even thinking about opening up. I'm really glutton for punishment. I'm thinking about opening up a Zoom channel and room during the day for customer service. That way, if like somebody has a, because I mean, and hey, I've got 2 dealers and Mike, a setup guy in here. I mean, so many times someone's trying to explain something on the phone and we have no idea. You know, you just can't figure it out. It's like, can you send me a picture? Can we FaceTime? You know.
How many times I walk in there and a guy has a turntable from 1984. None of the people working there were even born in 1984. And they ask a question and it's like, I need a picture. It's almost 40 years ago. You know?
Oh man. Yeah. So the so talking about dust covers, and then the other thing was the universal Tonearm Pod. Are we excited? Mike, you mean, you know, you're the Tonearm guy setting stuff up here. You also be excited about the, you know, it's I think we nailed it. You know, we
Is
were
it height adjustable?
yes.
Height adjustable. VTA is built into it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's very nice.
that's cool.
What I love about it is you could change arms literally in 30 seconds. You just take the next pod, stick it over there, shove it against the thing, and you're done. It's all
That's cool.
Yeah.
Ready?
Oh, so you can adjust the distance on the different bases?
Excuse me, what's that? What did you say, hon?
Yeah, once you take the alignment jig, what I did the other day, last weekend for the event that we did, Harold T. Okay, welcoming Harold T. Welcome, Harold T. So, and for those, hey, welcome. So, with the arm pod, what I did this past weekend was I set it up. I used our VPI alignment jig, and then someone asked the question. So I took the alignment jig, put it on,
see the numbers, remember,
pushed the pod next to it, and then I just moved the pod on the arc. And then once I drastically moved it, I took the arm and I put it on the alignment jig and showed them, and they were like, "Oh my God!" Which, by the way, that was very difficult to show as far as having one at a time, social distancing and everything. First audio show, mini audio show where audio files look like ninjas. So that was pretty cool. Looks like Jeff has dinner. So Jeff, Mr. Harris, take care, man. You'll be getting a newsletter about dealer training at some point tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. I didn't want to interrupt you when you were telling about the pods, so I didn't want to. I just sent the message. All right, see you guys.
Take care, Jeff.
Take care, Jeff.
Yeah, so the pod, you can put it anywhere, 9-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch. It's really meant for the 14-inch arm, but whatever you need, we can make it work. And you'll be able to put the Kuzma SME. There's this brass inset piece that can have a different cutout. So the pod's machined straight through with a machined just groove underneath, so that you could actually not groove, just a cutout, so that the wires can go out the back. And yeah, groove, and then the top part, the mounting plate, is a brass. Did we settle on brass, Dad?
Yes.
Okay, we settled on brass. And that's where it could be an SME cutout, Kuzma cutout, whatever cutout it is. Now, any arm we've already cut for, we're already going to have that in our Rolodex. Of course, as always, we prefer our own Tonearm, but it's all good. There's other arms out there. So I'm kind of looking at it as if the person wants our drive system, but not our arm, our pod will make their life easier. And, if they want the whole 9 yards, great, where they can just, they can get the pod, VPI arm mounted. And actually, you could put one of our standard VTA bases, Corey, like yours. So by the way, guys, I've told you all the story about the time I personally mounted a customer's VTA base and L adapter. It was Corey's. And so Corey, I don't know if you remember, but there was that guy that really pissed off Alan.
Yeah.
He didn't stop talking. I'm trying to install, and you guys have had that happen. We're trying to install and everything. And I'm a teacher. I have no problem showing and talking while doing installation. Oh, hold on. Let me just admit this person. Okay, welcoming Scott. Hey, Scott. So I'm mounting this arm, and I have no problem talking and explaining. I actually love that stuff. But this guy is like, how much does that cost? How much does this cost? How much is that? What if I do this? What if I buy from this? I got from the gray market. I did this and that. I'm like, dude, I got to the point where I was like, you need to go. And I ended up pushing. Jane was in the other room, and I was like, why don't you ask that lovely girl in the other room these questions? Jane's like,
I still couldn't believe Matt did that in the middle of that dealer show. He was willing to take the time and do that, but it was really cool. It was educational for everybody, aside from that guy. But and I appreciated it tremendously. But it was very neat, yeah. But yeah, that guy was crazy. He was. I've seen him a couple other times at events with Alan at High Five Buys. And he's passionate. He's just a little quirky. He's weird.
His could ask me these like really inappropriate questions versus like, I don't think she'd be publicly asking anybody that. Well, like this.
Is this a guy from Atlanta?
Yeah.
Corey's the guy from Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think this. What do you know the guy's name?
They call him Popcorn Bob.
I think this guy has come down to my shop. He was a pain in the ass.
He's harmless, but he's one of those kind of guys that he's in the hobby, but he's not in a place where he can really get into it like he wants to. And he's a little weird.
Yeah. I had no problem talking to him. He killed me when I was like knee deep, because mounting an L adapter, VTA base, and arm isn't end of the world. But when someone is just grilling you, like I felt like I was sweating. I remember I was struggling with the screws because I kept looking and talking to him. And I grabbed the wrong screw, and I'm just like, just go away for 5 minutes.
Should add, Michael, what's really nice about the pod is you no longer need the VTA base. You could mount the arm right to it because the whole thing moves.
Oh, actually, wait. I have this ability, so let me share my screen. There it is. Can you guys actually see this? I mean, I'm still like, yeah,
I see it. Wow. Yeah.
I love this picture. It's a shame Lee's gone because Lee took this picture. So yeah, this is down here. Wait, can you see my mouse?
Yep. Yeah, we see.
So, wow, this is really cool. I like this from an education. Remember, guys, I mean, I was a teacher for 5 years before this whole VPI thing. So right over here.
Rotates.
Yeah. So that, there is where you have the adjustability of the VTA. Then this is the locking mechanism, which locks that. You see that brass plate? That brass plate's cut for a VPI VTA base, but it could be cut for any. And you'll notice it's like the JMW arm because we don't need the VTA because it's already here. And it's height adjustable. And worst case, if the table's really low, this piece can be swapped out with a smaller piece. So that way it'll easily fit. And in this case, it's a 12-inch Fat Boy gimbal arm. And I'm sure you guys are all liking the adjustability of and setup of this counterweight versus the drop counterweight, which is a nightmare.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's pretty tall for a lot of turntables.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So this guy can be swapped out for, and more than likely, the standard's not going to be this thickness. The standard will probably be a thickness that's half this size. This is just one for the Vanquish and the height. And you can't see it in this picture, but you can kind of see how underneath the pod's slightly raised because there's 3 feet underneath it. So I'll have to take a picture of the bottom. There's 3 mounting bolts. So you can either put feet, or if you have like an aluminum top plate, wink, wink, you can mount this pod right into your aluminum top plate or something so that you can really just have a minimalistic mounting of an arm pod.
So are the 3 feet adjustable? The feet under the whole thing?
The ones we threw in there were not. Well, actually, no, I don't know what you did, Dad. You did something with that.
Took out the adjustability because we're level.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing. If you made them adjustable, you could have azimuth adjustment.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. That is true. I took it out because we didn't need it on this setup.
You know, you put a Riga arm on and suddenly you can adjust the azimuth.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
Or an SME5 for that matter.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, the feet adjustability really could be kind of cool with
could be a selling point.
Yeah.
You stick an outrigger on there with little set screws and just rotate the set screws and you can.
You know, if you put it so that the one is in the back and 2 are in the front, you just adjust the front 2 to change the tilt a little bit.
Yeah. Wow.
Voila, adjustable azimuth.
Yeah, we got to talk to Michael when we design these things. He a lot of arms.
Yeah, well, we're just going to have all these Zoom meetings over here, you know. But so that was the thing. They were in the that Facebook chat. I mean, they're still going. What I posted was that, and guys, I really do think that there is going to be a level of normal, but it's not going to be what it used to be. Audio show, and the big one I mentioned, which I think is what people didn't like that I said, no one's talking about the fact that dealers, manufacturers, and everybody saved money by not going to audio shows because everybody got financially hit, you know, because I lost my whole international market. You know, that has nothing to do with sales power. It has to do with the fact the countries were closed. And it was really nice to offset the fact that there was no shows, no travel, advertising for everybody's been minimal. And I think the conversation I've had with everybody, or the same conversation when I talk to other companies, is that they really liked not having those crazy expenses. Going to Munich, that's like a $20,000 nugget. I mean, right. You know, so yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like if you're Nordosten going, then it's more like probably $100,000 with the army of people they bring. But I've always been impressed by Joe Reynolds and his representation and showing. So, yeah, and I think a lot of manufacturers saw that they could pivot in the sense of doing these virtual type shows, still communicate, still. I mean, this year we sold more accessories than probably any year. You know, hey, we like selling HW40s. Thank you, Corey.
You're welcome.
But at the same time, you know, at the very least, if accessories and things are going out, that's still a good thing all around. And like, I think shows will be back, but it's just going to be a different outlook now. You know, I don't think they're going to be as large as they were. And this mini show we did was amazing. We had sessions of 20 people, and it was about average between 6 to 8 people because we had 2 rooms. So one room, we took the 20 people and split them, and group 1 would be in one room. They have an hour listening session. Then they switch with the other room. And the first room had the Vanquish pod, picture I just showed you. The other room had an HW40. One room with fine audio, cord, electronics, and transparent cable. The other one was Joseph Audio, transparent, and Jeff Rowland. And this show was great. We did 5 sessions between Friday and Saturday. So only 2 days, 5 sessions. Each session had 20 people, and they were people who really wanted to be there, asked good questions, they were involved, and we actually had some people after hours. This one guy, you guys know Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover?
Right.
I think I met the real life version of him.
Oh.
I mean, this guy comes in with this very well put together woman. Like, that's the only way I can put it, because like you have a train wreck, and then this woman is just like what? Huh? And he asked like the worst questions and everything. But even so, by the time we were done, he was a believer. You know, it was but I don't know, it was kind of an interesting format, and it really worked. From this event, there's a guy who is definitely getting an HW40, a guy who is definitely getting a pair of bookshelf fine audio speakers, and then weirdest line I've ever heard at a show. Some guy came up he looked at the table, he was like, man, I'm getting back in. I'm so excited. I'm going big on my analog. Next year, I'm dropping a deuce on my analog. What? Okay. So, but it was a good experience. I mean, like, we had 5 sessions, 5 times 20. That's not bad, you know, and everybody there really, we had our, we did our pitch. We explained what it was, and we listened to a lot of music. That was really the big thing. We really listened to a lot of music, which you don't get to do at shows. And then we had the little powwow of talking in general. So, but I don't know.
Every Sunday night, Matt.
What's that?
You should make this a regular.
Yeah, maybe 8 o'clock every Sunday, and we'll do it for an hour or 45 minutes. And I might even do another one during the day, like in the midst of the week, you know, while at VPI, have it be a blend of customer service / whatever. And, you know, and I actually really like when people bug me, because I feel like, mentioning customer service, the biggest customer service issue we ever have is when we miss something, just a human moment of missing it. And then the guy thinks that, you know, I don't sit there and be like, oh, that Corey guy, screw him. I can't wait to not get back to him. You know, it's, oh God. We had a guy who got, I mean, I think you guys know that Jose left us because he went back to school. And we had a guy who was super mad because his email was still in Jose's folder and we just forgot to check it. And it was only it wasn't like weeks. It was literally like, it dropped in there on Monday. And by Thursday, we get the follow-up email about how I need to fire Jose. Like, holy crap. Like, dude, we're sorry. We're sorry. He was fine. It's, you know.
Yes, because the screws that attach his iron lung to his, you know, chest were never sent.
Exactly. So, well, guys, while I have you all, any other, you know, little questions? We'll make tonight a little bit of a short one, since it was just testing things and all that stuff. But and the 2 things I wanted to have as a conversation was the pod we went over.
Wait, let me ask Joe a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question. I've got a USB input on my preamp.
Yep.
And yet I could stick a USB stick into it, but I can't stick a backup hard drive into it.
I could take a look at it with you. That's probably the way that a bigger hard drive is formatted versus a USB stick.
Okay.
Can also be power. Might not be enough power over that USB interface to power a drive versus a USB stick that takes a lot less power.
Yep.
Okay.
Good call.
Interesting. Yeah, that's why I've got to get your thing going. I'm up to 3 terabytes of recorded music already.
Okay.
Getting crazy over here.
I'll tell you what, we'll get you. I've got about 10 terabytes of SACD rips.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
So we'll get you squared away with that.
What'd you use? The Sony unit?
No, I've got about 4 Oppos at the back, and the interns, whenever they piss me off.
Make them work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a Sony Blu-ray player that I use that does a good job at it too, with a USB stick.
Which
rips it.
Corey, I want to find you later. You know, Wolf Audio Systems. I'd be interested in which Blu-ray player, because I got a lot of money tied up in these Oppos.
Yeah, I thought a cheap one. It like the Blu-ray player I used was less than $100 on eBay. I got it for $89.
Exactly.
And you just basically put the USB, the correct program on the USB, and what happens is it executes it at startup.
Yep.
You have it in the back, and it spits out the drive, and then you put the Blu-ray in, and then you hit the power button, and it closes.
Yep.
And then you've got an application on your computer that runs in Windows or Mac OS.
Sonore.
To it and transfers it over.
Yeah. See, I'll send an $89 Blu-ray player home with these kids, not the Oppos.
Yeah, the Oppos.
Have you seen the prices of Oppos on eBay?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Well, that's why I want to sell mine.
Right, I've got a 203 and a 205. I could sell.
Really quick, guys, I just want to show you, in case you haven't seen it, this is what that mini show looked like. And so here we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. There's Shane Tenace doing a whole demo thing, and it was pretty great. And also, not for nothing, it was kind of nice not having sometimes that audio shows, I don't mind it. I've gotten used to it. I mean, like, the worst moment was I'm in Munich. I'm literally taking a moment to go to the bathroom. I'm at the urinal, and some guy's like, "Oh, hey, you're Mat Weisfeld, blah, 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 blah. Let me talk about my whole system." I'm like, dude, I'm at the urinal. Can I have a second? But like, it was kind of nice of having a bit of like a breath, but having this space and everything. So I don't know. This is why I do think that, shows are going to change, because shows are going to look like this for a while. I don't know for how long, and I'm sure in a couple of years we'll be mobbing and cramming as many people in as we can, like we did before. But I think the advancements of technology, of people joining and things like that, I just think it's going to change stuff. So this is just a picture of what it was, and people were not allowed to go past the speakers. People did, but at least it wasn't. I mean, Dad, you had any times when we had a Capitol Audio Fest, we walked back in our room, and like people are just swarmed around the $500,000 system. Right here, some guy stepped right on the Nordos cables and pulled it out of the muons, and I thought Harry was going to get arrested because he had a look on his face of sheer homicide.
Do you remember when those guys were sitting in the room? It's at the end of the day, and I'm playing Sonny Rollins, and it sounds really, really good. And the guy says, "Yeah, well, you got these big Wilson loudspeakers." I said, "What are you talking about? That's the cheapest thing in the room. The wires attached to the Wilsons cost more than the Wilsons do." And then he steps on them.
Oh, man. So, guys, before we wrap up tonight, anybody have any questions or things you wanted to ask Harry or myself while we're here? And again, we're going to make this a thing. I'm going to, we'll talk with Harry.
Dad. We need to do this, Matt.
Yeah, like a weekly little thing.
This is the kind of interaction that really sets companies apart, that actually want to connect with their customers and connect with, like, build a community, and building a community around, something like VPI, any of these high-end boutique audio companies. It's all about community if you want to be successful.
And the thing is, and the thing is about my dad and I is we really actually love this. There was I'm not going to say who, but there was a turntable manufacturer that hey there, Classic 3. I'm assuming you have a Classic 3. Welcome.
Hey, Classic 3.
Oh, man. So at one of the shows, I don't remember what, but actually it had to have been Munich. I'm not going to say who, but there was a turntable manufacturer that I was at the bar with. We were all there. It wasn't like, and we were just discussing things. And halfway through we're talking, I realized that he was really in it about the money. I mean, everything he was saying was good as far as his manufacturing stuff and changes. And there was a little bit of like mine's bigger than yours. Like, he's talking about his machining. I'm talking about my machining. But then halfway through, I realized you don't actually listen to music. You don't actually, you're really just the business guy. And then that's where, like,
machinist.
What's that?
Machinist making turntables.
Yeah. It was just a machinist making turntables, and it kind of bothered me. And I had a moment where I was like, damn it, I wish my drink was empty because I kind of want to walk away now. Because like it was like, hey, good for you. That's just like I really like it. I mean, I still remember we had a what the hell was that guy? Salesman marketing BS. I accidentally hired just a BSer, let's just say, a couple of years back. Some of you may have had some interaction with him. And he got mad at me because at one of the audio events, I was talking to someone too long. Too long. I don't know. I'm very shy. So you guys know. You see, I'm an introvert, clearly. But I was talking with this guy, and I had to been talking to him for about 15, 20 minutes or whatever it was. And then this individual who used to be part of my team, it's like, you can't do that. And he starts like giving me a hard time. Like, what do you mean? He's like, you're the president of the company now. You have to this, you have to that. You did blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, he may not even buy anything. I'm like, excuse my French, but it was just like, who gives a shit? It's like, whatever. I mean, I really look at it as like, hey, I hope you buy a VPI. If you don't, then I hope you have a good musical system, because if you decide you don't like analog anymore, you're never buying a VPI. So it goes out the window anyway. I mean, well, Corey, I don't know if you remember, I sold a Rega at that event.
Yep, I remember that. Yep. I'll also say I have a friend of mine who's never owned a VPI before, but anytime anybody asks him about tables, VPI is one of the main ones he brings up. He's kind of entrenched in clear audio, but he brings up VPI every time because he knows of the experiences I've had and the interactions he's had with other VPI owners. And he's like, they're a great table. That's where I would go next. And he's really a big promoter, even though I don't think actually he has an HW19.
Oh, nice. Okay. There we go.
I have an HW19 that he inherited
nice.
through some wheelings and dealings. And but he's, his main table is, and his tables he uses aren't VPIs, but he loves what he's seen from the community and the company and the products that you guys have put out.
And so that's what you get from taking the time interacting with someone, even if they never buy a table, that they're going to remember that positive experience with you and carry that story.
Yeah. I walked into the room and they had a Rega set up with KEF LS50s, which, by the way, I'm using. I'm not going to flip it around because everything's going to fall. Well, one of the advantages of COVID, that doesn't sound right, but basically because the VPI house is closed, we weren't using the powered LS50s, so they're now sitting on my desk, and I've had the best speaker system in my office this whole year. But so the system had a pair of KEF LS50s, non-powered, a Rega, and I think it was a Sprout. I remember it was a very inexpensive integrated, and I walked in the room. It was a young couple. They don't know anything about brands. They just know that I'm one of the speakers, and the sound org guy stepped out of the room. So I'm doing my thing, and I sold them on getting it because that's where they were. And then the sound org guy comes in just like, what the hell did you do? I'm like, I sold them a great table. He's like, why did you do that? And then he starts telling me, he was just like, I thought I was screwed when I saw you talking to them. And I said, listen, man, the guy asked me, he's looking for a $500 to $800 turntable. You guys make the best, it was just like one of those, this is the table they need. I'm not going to oversell them or scare them away. I'm going to make sure they buy that Rega. And then when I told him, and he kind of gave me a look like, you're nuts, man. Like he wasn't happy in the end, because then I told him, I was like, listen, if he doesn't buy the Rega now and have a good experience, he's never going to buy the VPI. And that's when he was just like, I'm going away from you.
I remember seeing that interaction. Yeah, like it was in that back nook area. I believe it was probably a Parasound that it was hooked up to, actually. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that was exactly like how it went down, and it was funny. And that's that's just how it is. Getting people into hi-fi, especially nowadays, I think any way we can get people into hi-fi is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because this industry, it's not necessarily in popular culture mainstream as much as it used to be. And I love getting anybody into it, or getting anybody any kind of experience in hi-fi and showing them what good music actually sounds like what music reproduced well, actually sounds like.
Yeah.
Joe, do you sell Mike Colellis's loudspeakers?
Do I?
Yeah.
Not yet. He's a good friend. I just don't have I don't have the space.
That's a pair in the background. You see? Look at my thing. You see that red tower over there?
Oh yeah, no,
Mike
I've heard,
Colellis's.
yeah, I've heard all about him. And that's really interesting what he's done with those Heil drivers.
Absolutely amazing.
To expand that, I've never seen a Heil driver as large, and I'm not fully fluent in the technology. I've got a pair of audio vectors, but is that the largest Heil driver that's made?
I think it is. Yeah. I'll show it. I'll take the walk again. Wow, that Manhattan is really hitting me.
Just don't fall on the turntable, Dad. Well, you don't have a turntable right now, do you?
No.
You got a wolf. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So those are awesome.
So are those ribbons or
Heil drivers?
Yeah, it's kind of like a folded ribbon, and this guy is able to. So the Heil drivers were really for the extreme high, highs and maybe a little bit of the mid range. But Colellis, engineer, race car parts engineer, found a way to bring the way down into the mid range. So he's really able to cover a lot of ground, and he's using 9 or so drivers at once. It's really neat technology.
This thing crosses over at 160 hertz. It can go lower, actually.
Yeah.
120 if you have a nice fast woofer.
This is like a line array?
Yeah, it's a line array of Heil drivers. He makes them himself. Pretty amazing.
Yeah. And Corey, he's actually right up in Charlotte, right off 77. He's got a really cool operation up there.
You could run them with 6 watts and be blown out of the room. Seriously. I got 150 on there, and it's not even working. The thing's not even warm. Ridiculous.
What amp are you using to drive that?
I was using my friends who actually designed all the Merrill gear, Jens.
Yeah.
The Jens phono section, that's Jens.
Yep. Okay.
I was using that, but I got the Orchard Peachtree, whatever the hell it's called, that little digital thing that just stick right on the rear of it. No speaker cable at all. It goes right onto it. It's like 6 inches long, the cable. And it works beautifully because it doesn't have to deal with the low end anyways. So it works beautifully. The end is better, but I have to use cable then.
So my father just got that Conrad Johnson Art 150. He's over the moon.
Yeah. Conrad Johnson is just wonderful to listen to. Long term.
Mm-hmm.
But since my wife uses this, I have to have stuff that's not going to blow up on her.
Right.
Down at the VPI house, that's different. We have tubes and solid state and all kinds of crazy stuff. But here, it's got to work all the time.
Also, if he blows it up, it's my problem, not his.
That's true. Yes. It's Matt, fix this. Right.
Well, guys, on that note, I think I'm going to wrap it up there because I just realized I haven't had dinner either. So, but I hope you all enjoyed our first installment of doing I guess Sunday night chat, whatever. What did I call this? Meeting with Matt and gang and everything. And so this is the first one. I'm going to go back and look at the video and see how it is.
Yeah.
So my other plan is for some people have already said that they don't have Zoom, so they're like disappointed. And so the goal is
I'm coming.
Is to also then have it for everyone to see later on Facebook or something. So we can all learn everything. So, but thanks for joining us, guys. And hope you enjoyed the Zoom experience and connecting some more, and have a great rest of your Sunday night.
Take
All
care.
right. Thanks.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night,
Talk
guys.
tomorrow, Dad.